She didn't raise her voice. She didn't get angry. But when Elizabeth Warren tried to threaten Pam Bondi on live TV, what happened next left the entire room speechless. With just one sentence, Bondi flipped the power dynamic and humiliated Warren in front of millions. This wasn't just a debate. It was a masterclass in calm control. Let me show you exactly how it went down. The moment was tense before it even began. You could feel it in the air through the fake smiles, stiff handshakes, and distant nods. This wasn't just another political discussion. This was a showdown waiting to happen. On one side stood Elizabeth Warren, the progressive firebrand, a U.S. senator known for her sharp tongue, strong opinions, and no-nonsense approach to confrontation. She'd built a career taking on Wall Street, conservative figures, and anyone she believed stood in the way of the people. She was smart, strategic, and not afraid to get loud when she needed to. On the other side was Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General of Florida. Elegant, poised, and unshakable, Bondi had made her mark, not by yelling, but by winning. She had spent years fighting legal battles, taking on major corporations, and defending high-profile cases. Bondi wasn't the type to chase the spotlight, but when it found her, she handled it like a pro. The two had crossed paths before, but never like this. This time, they were both panel guests at a high-profile televised policy forum in Washington, D.C. It was supposed to be a civil conversation about legal reform and justice system improvements. But with two powerful women who stood on opposite ends of the ideological spectrum, civility was unlikely. Cameras were rolling. The room was full. Journalists sat in the front row, pens ready, while producers whispered into headsets behind the scenes. Social media teams stood by to clip the best moments for instant upload. Pam Bondi arrived first, cool and collected, as always. She greeted the moderators with a smile, adjusted her blazer, and calmly reviewed her notes. Then, Warren walked in. She didn't make a scene, but her entrance had weight. She greeted no one but the host, sat down, and glanced at Bondi for half a second before looking away. No words, no greeting, just subtle tension, and it was loud enough to be heard without a sound. The opening minutes of the forum were tame. The moderator asked both women about their legal experience and views on criminal justice reform. Bondi spoke first, laying out her position with logic, clarity, and calm authority. She emphasized fairness, strength in the legal process, and the importance of law enforcement. Warren, when her turn came, wasted no time. She took her usual stance, speaking with passion, hitting keywords like equity, systemic change, and the people's voice. It wasn't surprising. But what came next was, the moderator asked a simple question. How do you believe bipartisan cooperation can be improved in today's legal system? Bondi started to answer, but didn't get far. Elizabeth Warren cut in, eyes narrowed, voice sharp. With all due respect, Miss Bondi, you represent the very system that refuses to change. The policies you've defended have hurt families, and if you keep clinging to outdated methods, there will be consequences, both political and public. Consequences. That word echoed in the room. It wasn't just a jab, it was a veiled threat, and everyone knew it. The Bondi slowly turned her head. Her expression didn't change. She didn't smile, she didn't react, she simply let Warren finish. And when the room fell silent, all eyes turned to her. They were waiting for the snapback, the fire, the shouting match, but that's not what they got. Pam Bondi leaned slightly forward, locked eyes with Warren, and said nothing. For a long, heavy second. Then she said it. She didn't yell. She didn't flinch. She didn't even raise her voice. With calm, unwavering tone, she delivered the line that would echo far beyond the forum. Senator, the last time someone tried to threaten me, they ended up watching me win. Silence. Not a single person in that studio moved. No cough, no whisper. Even the cameras seemed to hold still. Warren's face tightened. The sharpness in her gaze faded. She blinked once, twice. She shifted slightly in her seat, and for the first time that evening, she looked unsure. Pam Bondi hadn't just responded. She had dismantled the moment without breaking a sweat. The moderator, clearly caught off guard, fumbled to regain control. Let's try to bring this back to policy perspectives. But it was too late. That moment had already left the studio. Within minutes, it was viral. Producers clipped it instantly. Twitter lit up. TikTok users were adding dramatic background music, subtitles, and reaction edits. YouTube commentary channels scrambled to upload their takes. One viral tweet read, "Bondi didn't throw shade, she turned off the sun." Another, Warren just learned the hard way. Don't poke a lion and expect it to purr. Even some of Warren's own followers were forced to admit Bondi's response was clean, smart, and devastatingly effective. It wasn't just what Bondi said, it was how she said it. Calm, collected, like someone who'd heard it all before. Pam didn't tweet about it. She didn't gloat. She let the internet speak. And it did, loudly. The next morning, the headlines were clear. Pam Bondi puts Warren in her place with one line. Experience versus emotion. The night Bondi won the room. Viral silence. Why Bondi's calm response hit harder than any insult. Major news outlets picked it up. Analysts debated it. Social media kept rolling. On cable news, even hosts who typically leaned left had to admit it was a powerful moment. Warren, to her credit, stayed silent publicly, but her team released a soft statement about strong emotions in political dialogue and passion in the pursuit of justice. The damage, however, was done. Pam Bondi's name trended for 2 days straight, not because she started a fight, but because she ended one. And in doing so, she earned new respect. Even younger viewers who had never followed her career before started digging into her past work, her courtroom victories, her policy battles, her role in major national legal cases. People were discovering her not through campaigning, but through presence. And presence, they realized, couldn't be faked. Meanwhile, Caroline Levitt, a young conservative influencer, even praised Bondi in a follow-up panel. We need more calm strength like Pam. You don't have to scream to be powerful. Suddenly, Bondi wasn't just a former attorney general. She was a force. Weeks later, political podcasts were still referencing that moment, not just as entertainment, not just as a viral clip, but as a lesson. Commentators began drawing comparisons, the difference between reaction and response, the contrast between performance and professionalism, the reminder that experience, when quiet, is often underestimated. One quote from a political strategist summed it up. Warren came to lecture, Bondi came to lead. Bondi herself finally addressed the exchange in a calm interview weeks later. It was never about one moment. It was about standing your ground, even when someone tries to shake it. And that was the story. No theatrics, no meltdown, just strength in the stillness. Because when the storm comes, real leaders don't scream. They stand. Today, that clip lives on as more than just a moment. It's a message. That you don't have to match noise with noise, that calm is a weapon when used by the right hands. That sometimes one sentence can say more than a whole speech. Pam Bondi didn't win by overpowering. She won by outclassing. And Elizabeth Warren, she walked away with a reminder that politics isn't just about power, it's about poise. And in that room, Pam Bondi owned both. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this every day.